Golden Globe winner, Academy Award winner, Billy Bob Thornton in the new movie Our Brand is Crisis in theaters on Friday with Sandra Bullock. Pleased to have on the Rich Eisen Show in person, Billy Bob Thornton. How are you, sir?
Good, man.
Good to see you.
You too.
So before we get to your movie, let's talk Colts, because I know you're an Indianapolis Colts guy, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How'd you find your way towards the Blue Horseshoe? Why you love him so much?
When I was a kid, I was raised in Arkansas and then moved to Texas after high school. And everybody was a Cowboys fan. And I liked the Cowboys back in the Landry days and all that. But I just loved Johnny Unitas and Tom Matty and Ray Berry and all these guys when I was a little kid.
So Baltimore,
I was a Baltimore Colt fan.
Uh-huh.
And I loved, you know, when you're a kid, there are a lot of things that go into it. And one of the things was it's like that helmet, I got to have it with that horseshoe on there, you know. And, but I was just a Colts fan from the very beginning. And then when they moved to Indianapolis, I just remained a Colts fan. I'm a huge fan of Peyton Manning. So, you know, now I root for the Broncos as long as they're not playing the Colts.
As long as they're not playing the Colts.
Yeah, and I mean, just like in baseball, I'm a Cardinal fan. Everybody back where I'm from is a Cardinal fan. But, you know, local team's the Dodgers, so as long as the Dodgers aren't playing the Cardinals, I'm always pulling for
Yeah,
them.
it looked like you might have that problem in the NL playoffs this year, but that never materialized.
We ended up having a different problem. Yeah.
Yeah, is it true that you tried out for the Kansas City Royals?
I did. I was a junk pitcher, a pretty good high school pitcher. And,
junk pitcher?
Yeah. I had a bunch of stuff.
So what was your strikeout pitch, Billy Bob?
I had a really good slider.
Okay.
A good slider and a good changeup. My curveball was okay, but I threw a screwball too.
Oh.
And
so are you righty or lefty?
I was a righty.
Okay.
Which was pretty rare.
Yeah, because normally the off-speed stuff comes from the southpaw usually.
Exactly.
The junk usually comes from the left side.
I threw all that stuff.
Okay.
And didn't throw real hard, you know, but I used to fool people. And went to the Royals traveling camp, and I was there for about a half hour and got my collarbone broken.
No way.
Yeah.
How?
Just standing behind the first base coach's box there talking to a guy, and they were taking infield practice, and third baseman threw over to first. He wasn't looking, hit me in the collarbone, and
I went freak accident?
Yeah.
Now, is your acting and writing and directing career born out of that moment, Billy Bob?
In a way, yeah. Because not too long after that, a couple of years after that, I started traveling and eventually came to California, and I actually hit the road with a rock and roll band right after that, after the collarbone incident, and worked as a roadie for a while, and one thing led to the next, and I guess it worked out good because, you know, I can be an actor or a musician until I'm 85 years old. But, you know, if I had actually got even in the minor leagues, I'd probably be selling cars in Long Beach by now.
Or you could be with you could be in the bullpen with Bartolo Colon. I mean, he's
you never
42 years old, throwing in a World Series last night.
Yeah, it's fun watching that guy. You know, it really is. You can't help it.
It's like a cartoon in a way.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Just seeing him out there in Game 1 of a World Series.
I remember
42.
The first time I saw Bartolo Colon on the mound that I remember, I thought Harvey Weinstein was pitching for whoever it was. Yeah.
Did he get in an argument? Is that what happened?
Well, no, just, you know, physically, it was like that looks like Harvey with a baseball uniform on.
Yeah, maybe it could be a new Weinstein film.
Exactly.
I've got Billy Bob Thornton here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what do you think of the Colts season so far? They're 3-4. Their coach is on the hot seat right now.
Yeah,
in Chuck Pagano, but they are still in first place.
Yeah. Now, see, that's one of those things. You know, you know the division's weak when you're 3-4 and you're leading the division. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really expected great things from the Colts this year, and who knows? I mean, you just can't tell what's going to happen. It's really unpredictable these days in sports. I mean, you know, baseball, which I follow very closely, and football, college football too. I mean, look how many upsets there have been in college football already.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's just you just can't tell anymore.
That's the beauty of it,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And who would have thought on the same weekend the thing that happened with Georgia Tech and with Michigan State? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about craziness.
Back-to-back week. Well, I'm a Michigan guy.
Right.
Billy Bob Thornton. And I'm going to wear the emotional scar for that.
Oh, I'll bet you.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Which is what gives Michigan State fans glee, that there's a permanent scar.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense in Michigan, you know. But I mean, the shock on those people's faces. I mean, can you imagine? That's and and same thing with Florida State and Georgia Tech. It was just nuts. I mean, I guess if you're a coach, I guess you can't second guess yourself, but it's like we're trying a 55-yard field goal here. We're tied. Pretty good team. Maybe we should just
kneel on it.
Kneel
yeah,
on
I mean, there's so much going on right now with Michigan fans thinking maybe we shouldn't have punted, but it's a freak thing.
It is a freak thing.
It's a freak
There's no
thing
doubt.
that happened those two times that
Absolutely.
have led to obviously some really downtrodden times. And also, too, if we talk unpredictable, but right now the Colts quarterback with more wins this year is Matt Hasselbeck, too, compared to Andrew
Absolutely.
Luck's one.
I know.
Who would have ever thought that?
And Matt's my age.
He was the first starter to win games back-to-back games as a 40-something since Favre, who I know you have an affinity for. You did the voiceover for the Favre Forever documentary.
That's right.
A few years ago. You've met Brett?
No, we've talked on the phone. He's just a hero of mine. I mean, that's just my kind of guy. I like Peyton Manning and Brett Favre, and as a Colts fan, we're natural enemies with the Patriots, but I got to respect Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with a video online. A friend of mine sent it to me when they were going through that whole deflate thing, Deflategate thing. And he put this video together of all the great moments of the Patriots with my speech from Friday Night Lights as the voiceover.
Yes.
And so when he did that, I was like, those Patriots aren't so bad, are they? And but I've always respected, Tom Brady as a quarterback, and but yeah, Brett Favre. I mean, you gotta love a guy like that. That just, I mean, you never knew. This guy's like 2 inches from the ground, and he flips the ball like underhand to some guy, and they score a touchdown. It's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he just
go for it.
No conscience.
Yeah.
No conscience sometimes, but it seems to work out, from time to time. I've got Billy Bob Thornton here on The Rich Eisen Show. We're going to take a quick 60-second break. When we come back, we'll talk our brand is Crisis. I want to talk about Fargo also, which you were outstanding in.
Thank you.
And more conversation. I want to also touch a little bit on Friday Night Lights with you.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton here on The Rich Eisen Show in 1 minute's time. Our brand is Crisis in theaters October 30th. That is this Friday. And the man who plays the role of Pat Candy, Billy Bob Thornton here on The Rich Eisen Show right now. So this film is about you and Sandra Bullock as political operatives on opposite sides of a foreign election.
Yes.
And seeing how that all plays out with the rivalry between the candidates and obviously you and Sandra Bullock. You're all great in this movie. And it seems like you're cutting a very James Carville figure physically. Was that what everyone was going for right
well,
there?
Not really.
Okay.
What's ironic about it is that I had played a character based on Carville in Primary Colors years and years ago. And at that time, I thought about Carville a lot for the part, but I didn't try to look like him. And in this one, I wasn't going to pattern myself after Carville at all. I had always wanted to shave my head in a movie. And for this character, I wanted to make him look a little sinister and go for like a Nosferatu kind of look, which worked, by the way. My ears were much bigger than I thought they were. But I just shaved my head. And actually, George and Grant, the producers, and Sandy, they didn't know I was going to shave my head. I didn't tell them.
So Clooney had no idea?
Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, and somebody called them when they were having a meeting and said, oh, by the way, Billy shaved his head. And they were like, oh, my God, why did he shave his head? And it's like, well, I mean, look at all these different parts I've done over the years. I just get into looking different in movies, and turned out to, worked really well. And because, like you think of Yul Brynner or Telly Savalas, those guys always had a real edge and
well, I mean, if you want to go there, we got to talk Brando and Apocalypse Now.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there he's talking about grocery clerks getting a bill and stuff like that going up the river. That's what you're talking about right there.
Dandy.
Oh yeah. So you just showed up and then it just worked out for the role. Did you speak to any actual real live political operatives, or you just based your character on what you already gleaned from Primary Colors?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around that set before,
Sure.
and have known them over the years, so I didn't really have to do much research about it. But I did learn some things during the process. I mean, just how ruthless it can get, and you're doing a job where it's almost like they're political or intellectual mercenaries. Because a mercenary doesn't care who they're working for. Give me the money, I'll go shoot whoever you want, whatever it is, And and that's what they are. They get hired to do a job, and it's all about winning, no matter what you do to get there. And they don't even necessarily have to believe in the cause. They're hired as a consultant.
Sure. They're just a mercenary hired gun getting in and out, and it's all about maybe even beating your colleague who's on the other side of the ticket, and that's Sandra Bullock in this one. And you truly shot this in Bolivia.
Well, they shot a couple of weeks in Bolivia,
correct.
but that was mainly like second unit stuff.
So not you?
None of us were there, none of the actors. We shot in New Orleans and Puerto Rico. We shot a lot of the street scenes in Puerto Rico.
Fantastic. It's a great movie. It's a great movie, and certainly for you to follow up in a way Fargo with this. Right. Fargo, I mean, you were pretty evil in Fargo without the shaved head.
Right.
In that one.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you were superb in that, Billy Bob. You were awesome,
much.
And we've had Colin Hanks on the show too, and I'm just a huge fan of that show because it took its own license in a way, but it still had the same sensibilities of the film.
Yeah,
that Fargo series.
A real tribute to those guys that put that together because it kept the spirit of the Coen Brothers movie while making a new animal at the same time.
What's it like being somebody so evil and being able to just show up on the set and be that type of person?
You have to look at them as not being evil. In other words, if you're inside someone, you think what you're doing is justified. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. And a lot of people liked that character, Lauren Malvo, where a lot of people rooted for the character. A matter of fact, there was one journalist who interviewed me and called Lauren the protagonist. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, I'm all for it.
Well, in a way, I mean, it was like, it was candy every time you showed up on the screen. It's just like, it was the most delicious moment whenever your character showed up the way you played it. You had no idea what was coming.
Well, I loved it. I loved doing it. I really did.
Incredible, incredible. And Friday Night Lights, you already mentioned how Brady used your speech underneath a video that he put out. Right. Would you say is that the most lasting character that you've played, that people come up to you? Is it Sling Blade? Who's the one that you are years removed from that people still recall you for, Billy Bob Thornton?
Well, I've done a lot of different types of things, so I guess it depends on who you run into. I mean, there are a lot of people there's a certain set who loves Monsters Ball. Bad Santa is another bunch, and then Sling Blade always, and then there's Friday Night Lights people, especially in Texas. In Texas, I get Davy Crockett from the Alamo and Friday Night Lights, because it's Texas.
Of course. And that's a way of life down there. I'm sure you saw that firsthand when shooting that, correct?
I mean, the Permian Stadium is like a college stadium. It's not like a high school stadium. And as a matter of fact, it's probably as big or bigger than the college I went to. They really take it seriously. And some people say, oh, well, Friday Night Lights, it's kind of a heightened reality, right? It can't really be like that. But I said, no, actually, we held back a little bit.
Did you really?
I mean, a little bit, because it can get really nuts, I mean, they take their football very seriously.
Well, there was something in San Antonio, I don't know if you saw that a couple of months ago, where a coach told the kids to go ahead and hit the ref because
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I thought of Friday Night Lights right away, that's something you can't even make up. But it's something where people just sort of lose their minds.
Sure.
So I'm here with Billy Bob Thornton on the Rich Eisen Show. When you were kind enough to come on the podcast years ago that the show's been born out of, you did mention Bad Santa 2 was in the works potentially. Does it still exist?
We've been
somewhere?
trying to get it together, with schedules and different things in the studio and everything for about 3 or 4 years now, and I think we're close now.
Okay.
I think we're getting very close to doing it.
Is that so? Okay.
That would make a lot of people very happy.
You're one of them right over there.
Isn't Doug Ellen's attached to that, right? Trying to write a script for it, potentially?
Yeah, there have been different versions of the script, done. by different people, and but I think we're getting very close to possibly getting that off the ground.
Close to possibly, I like that.
Right.
That's as close as you can get in this town.
I'm being all cryptic and stuff.
I like it. Those are some serious breadcrumbs that you're dropping.
Oh yeah.
Right there. And so thank you for coming on and talking about Our Brand is Crisis. Go see it. It's an awesome movie in theaters coming up on this Friday. And good luck to your Colts and moving forward. And
thank you.
Your Razorbacks too. They finally won a game in overtime.
Yeah, they finally did win a game. So hopefully, they're going to have a team in a couple of years. I think they're really poised and ready to go.
Yeah, and Darren McFadden looked great for the Cowboys this past weekend.
Absolutely.
There you go. Thank you for coming on the show.
Man.
You bet.
Good to see you.
You bet. That's Billy Bob Thornton.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.